Welcome back to the Animation Weekly recap. We are so happy to see you.
Look,
And
black and white, we match.
you mean black and black?
Well, whitish.
I've worn this for the past every Monday in the Animation Weekly recap.
Have you?
Have you not
That's
noticed?
not true.
I'm
Is
dead
it?
serious. It's between this and a green sweatshirt that I
Oh,
wear.
no.
Yeah, I have two outfits. Anyways, this one's
Hi.
a bit of a different episode because this episode is going to be quick, not like that quick, but we don't have news articles. We
Shorter.
are just doing a review of In Your Dreams. So if you haven't seen
Woo.
it, come back after. And spoiler alert, we will be talking about In Your Dreams from Netflix.
And maybe
I feel
put
like-
in here now at the beginning. That's good. That's better.
There you go.
That we are going on a holiday break. So this
Yes,
is...
some housekeeping.
Go ahead. It's good to do it up front in case people don't watch the whole
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
You just told them to leave, basically.
Yeah, anybody's leave, and then also we're
No,
leaving
don't-
for a holiday break.
Don't leave yet. Let's say this part.
Yes,
Are you
okay,
gonna-
so we are going on a holiday break for Thanksgiving into Christmas/New Year's. Lots of stuff going on for the holidays. Pencilish has a lot we're trying to figure out, and on top of that, on a personal note, I'm getting married. So
We know that.
we're do we?
Not the world
I don't know if
knows.
I've said it enough.
Yeah.
But so things are just really ramping up, and we are just decided to do what a lot of people do. My podcast, The Toast, does
Oh, do they?
a holiday break. Yeah, they go on summer break too,
Like the whole summer?
and they go to the Hamptons.
Well, they really are rich. So they're like their parents are rich. They don't need to work.
No,
No?
they just are really doing well. They're amazing, and everybody loves them.
Because of the podcast, they live in the Hamptons. Like that's
No,
the
they
kind
go
of
to
money.
the Hamptons for the summer.
I mean,
They
that's
live in New
family.
York.
That's family money. Where's the money for the Hamptons come in? From the podcast or from their family?
They make a lot of money in a lot of ways.
Other ways.
Well, many different ways.
I'm always interested in how people make money.
Majority is the podcast, and then they have a lot of viral from the podcast on socials. They do well on socials. They sell a lot of merch. They also
So it's just from being influencers, basically. They're
everybody
that
loves
kind of
them.
rich.
Yeah, I think they do well. I don't know their income. I haven't asked, but I think that they do really well. And then Claudia Oshray, one of the hosts' husband, is also a famous influencer and food TikToker.
Yeah.
And then he owns Spritz Society, which is a really famous drink brand.
Okay, well that makes a little more sense.
And then the other host's husband, I've heard, is generationally wealthy.
That's all making more sense. Okay.
But they make a lot on
No,
their
I'm
own.
sure they do, but not enough to take a summer in the Hamptons. That's an unimaginable. That's a lot.
They do Patreon while they're there. So when they go on to leaves,
Patreon?
Oh, their Patreon makes so much money.
Really?
Because it's
know.
what the way that they do it is they make it where things that people really want to hear. They're just weekly Fast Five. One of them just had a baby. One also just had a baby last week.
Yeah.
They took you through the journey of finding out they were pregnant, and the gender reveal all went on to Patreon. So then you wanted to become a Patreon member because you wanted to find out
How they did the gender reveal? Or what the
or
baby
what,
is?
what the baby is.
Oh.
What they're gonna a vlogging of it all.
Uh-huh.
And they just did one about the birth story of one of their other friends and all this stuff.
Hmm.
So don't get on your phone
No,
right
no,
now.
I'm silencing it.
Is what I'm saying that disinteresting?
Yeah, well, it's getting there.
Okay, yeah.
But,
So that's
yeah.
it. They just do well. Anyways, shall we get into?
Did you say how long we were going to take off? You didn't even get there. So
Oh,
we are
we
taking
should-
off Thanksgiving. So that for you guys that are not in the U.S., if we have international people watching, that's next week. So we won't have one next week all the way through to
The new year.
the new year, I guess.
First week of January.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Sorry, you're gonna miss us. I know.
I know. We hope you have a happy holiday.
And hopefully, there's
Actually, we hope you have happy 3 holidays.
yeah, it is 3,
Well,
isn't
and
it?
there's if you're Jewish, you have different ones. There's a lot of holidays coming.
That's true. Yeah.
Isn't Chinese New Year in the mix?
I'm assuming. I don't know when that happens.
I thought it's
actually.
beginning of December.
I don't know. I don't think it is, but
have
maybe
a
it is.
happy holiday for whatever your holiday may be, because I'm sure there's one within the mix of this hiatus.
And don't forget to come back, please. I mean, it's good times, right?
I know.
Right.
I know. It's going to be sad. What are we going to do?
I don't know. It's a long gap. It bothers me, but I'm supportive. We do have a lot going on, so it's good times. But
You're making it out like I'm the one that's
I know.
asking you to
Well,
do
we
this
discussed
leave.
it. We discussed it. But yeah, I'm starting to realize.
I feel gaslit.
No, I want you guys to come back. That's all. Okay.
Okay, I think we split this into two things. By the way, so this is our In Your Dreams, dropped on Netflix this past Friday. CG animated film. It is by Cuckoo Studio, I think.
Thank you. I was going to look it up, but I think it is Cuckoo.
It is Cuckoo, because it goes cuckoo right when they come in. I noticed that, and I thought it was cute. So yeah, it's by Cuckoo Studio, brought onto Netflix,
And this is their very first feature film.
Is it really? I didn't know that. So I think we kind of split it into 1 and 2, which is like number 1 review of animation, actual,
Style and quality.
and number 2 review of like story, and what we like.
Okay.
Or we could do that as number 1 and number 2 be the animation.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do story first,
Okay.
probably. Yeah.
We're gonna start with 1, thoughts on the story, plot, everything about that. Hit it.
And we will get into
Maybe
spoilers.
do like 1 word, like loved it or hated it, loved it or hated it.
Wow. Okay,
Or
so
just, it was okay.
I just finished it. It was a cram here at the end, right before this.
I watched it day of because I'm a good worker.
Wow. I started it Saturday night. I must admit, I got really tired. It was starting at late, like 10 o'clock. And so I didn't get very far before I started realizing I wasn't paying attention enough.
Right.
So then I started back up today at lunch. Anyway,
Okay.
I had to back.
Right.
a little
Okay.
bit,
You
'cause
got
I
it.
missed some of it. Anyway, but
Liked
I got it all.
Loved it, hated it. Okay. What?
I think out of those, I would have to say okay.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I loved it. I don't think I did. And I wanted to like it. The trailers look good. I do think they did a good job with the trailers and that they made it look like this is going to be hilarious and this is going to be a big adventure and all that. And those parts were pretty small. Like most of it was in the trailer, it felt like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wasn't basing it off of my thoughts on the trailer. So maybe I looked at it differently.
I think I just was hoping for a certain kind of movie is all I'm saying based on the trailer. And I don't know if I got that. Okay, you give your basics. Go ahead.
I loved it.
Loved it. All right.
I did. I thought... I get where you're coming from because it definitely was more serious.
Yep, more serious.
But I thought it was so real, and I just thought it was amazing. I mean, pretty much for those to recap, their parents are about to be splitting up. And she's trying to go into the dream with Elliot, her brother, who she doesn't like, which I also thought was so real. Like the older sister that's annoyed with the little brother or sister, and
he was annoying.
He was annoying, but also she's at that age. I remember I was dying to get my own room and split up with the twins and stuff like that because I was just coming to that age that
she had younger sisters.
My sisters annoyed me and stuff because you hit that age, that you're
yeah,
I'm an adult and I don't want you and all this stuff and
right.
I do get it and Lexi I know talks about it all the time, almost even more realistically to what she was saying because she really thought Elliot ruined her family. And I know Lexi, Em and Ellie are amazing now. So if you're listening, you guys rock. But when Em and Ellie were really young, they were really tough.
Yeah, they were.
And Lexi was 8 when they were born. So Lexi was at the age that she remembers how tough they were. And she talks a lot about how when they were born, she seriously was oh my gosh, they ruined our family.
Put them back.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think Lexi gets it even more than I did. I just kind of went through my teenage, okay, I'm annoyed and all this stuff. But I thought that was so real.
Okay.
And I loved how they came together and she realized wait, I can't, pretty much when she was stuck trying to live in what was a dream that she thought was a reality.
Do we remember what the girl's name was? Because
No.
you just said Elliot is the brother.
Yeah. I think it's Andy or something.
Her name? We should get. I should have wrote those down. But it's very obvious who the girl is and who the boy is, because that's pretty much the heart of the whole story.
Stevie.
That's right. There was a joke in there where they called her something else. Remember the doll? And what's the doll's name? Dang it.
A Baloney Tony?
That's it. Okay. Because I have a little comments on Baloney Tony.
Okay. Well, anyways, I thought that was really real. And I thought, unfortunately, it is really real. Like with parents splitting these days, like that tends to be something that's like really real. And then on top of that, it just even like parents argue generally. Like, yeah, that happens. And so like I thought it was really like well done and probably resonates, unfortunately, with a lot of kids these days.
Yeah.
And I do love how it brought it together in the way of what they thought was a bad nightmare person.
Yes.
Actually saying like, no, like your nightmares are important because they prepare you for the real world and like all this stuff. Like not everything's perfect.
Did they say that in the movie?
Yes, she said that. Do you remember when he's like pushing through? Not word for word, but she did say like the night, like this prepares you for like real life isn't perfect.
Okay.
And she said that's why.
That's right.
Then you kind of learn the Sandman, who you think is a great guy, is actually kind of the bad guy, even though he doesn't know he's bad. He just wants everybody to be happy.
Right.
Which I liked that too, that there wasn't an obvious villain.
Yes.
And
that's one way of interpreting it. Yes.
Like there wasn't. Like
you're
she's kind of
starting
like,
to go down the road of what I didn't like. So
she's kind of like, going. Well, like the Sandman, like he thinks he's doing this right, but like, and I'm the bad guy and I seem like the bad guy, but like, you have to have nightmares. It prepares you for the real world because like the real world's never going to be perfect. Like the Sandman is trying to make it for you. And the only thing I didn't love was the ending, even though it was also very real. I thought the ending kind of ended with Stevie saying like, okay, we're all moving to Duluth together and like our lives aren't perfect, but we have each other. I've got Elliot, I've got my family, and we love each other no matter what. But then it kind of said, but we don't know if my parents are going to stay together. But
yes.
It's okay because we love each other.
Well, we're a family.
Yes. And I was
they
like...
They promised we'll always be a family.
Yes. And that...
It's a mixed message, I think.
Well, but that's my thing, is... I would love a happy ending because who doesn't love a happy ending?
I know.
But I kind of at the same time was like, well, that's kind of like really real. Like kids that probably a lot of kids' parents are in this same walk of life right now. And they're waiting for a happy ending at the end, hoping like, oh, then now my family will stay together because I just, like it all works out that way.
You watch this movie?
No, it's like, because you
I know.
You are what you watch as a kid. Like you believe what you watch as a kid. You are like very easily moved and, you see things very black and white. So if I watch a movie that's about a family struggling and they end up happy and living together forever and they're so happy, I would then think like, oh, like it's going to be perfect for me. And it doesn't always work out that way. And I thought it was kind of like, crazy that it ended that way, but also it's like I thought it was so real.
Well, so we're gonna be all over the place, I can tell, because I want to jump in the ending here because you just brought it up.
Yeah.
And I'll forget what I'm about to say. So I do want to jump in on that, which is, what is wrong with our society that we can't have a happy ending? You just said, I wish that they would have just ended up together. I know, I see the other side that you just said, which is, well, are we telling kids that basically you just want your parents to be together and they'll be together because that's not always true and la la la. Okay, fine. I know this is but this is one story we're telling. We're not saying that every single kid is going to have this kind of a happy ending. Of course, they're also not going to go into the dream world. So this is a cartoon. This is still a story, a made up fantasy story. Why couldn't we just say, oh guys, because like you never hear the parents say, I want to split up, all that.
Yes,
all that was.
They have that.
Well, she's going to Duluth for an interview, and if she gets the job, they kind of leave it off like, I thought
that was a pretty apparent. Like he said, like, well, I don't want to move to Duluth with you. Like if you go, you're going by yourself. And she was just kind of like, well, I just can't talk about this right now. I gotta go to my interview.
I don't think it was that.
I thought it was pretty apparent.
I thought the line was something like, I'm not sure I can go to Duluth, or I'm not sure that's something that
it was something about like, this is
in.
where I started my band. This is where the kids have grown up. Like, we're not leaving is how I very much heard that.
I think it was a little more questionable than that.
People have different forms of communication.
So
I guess I would have taken it like that if it were me.
But long story short, they never said anything about splitting up per se. Like, we can at least say that. They never like went to each other and said, I don't think we should be together or anything like that. It hadn't progressed to that point. Even at the end of the film, we just then find out she got the job. Like, that didn't happen till the very end. And so there was always an opening, but definitely the little girl, Stevie, was saying was the one that could see it happening. And I'm not saying that was wrong. She could see there were problems. And so she was jumping to, oh no, I think they might break up. And we're not saying she's wrong, but why couldn't we have had an ending where they said, after they went through all this too, especially, like, we're fighting for our family, and they literally, we're doing spoilers, so the parents actually go into the dream world and help rescue their kids and be a part of that final battle kind of thing. Well, there's nothing wrong with them. And you could tell they're friends at the very least. They're like really good friends, the mom and the dad. You could tell they love each other. Why couldn't we have had a happy ending where they're like, we're going to do this together?
Why can't we not? Like, you said not every family ends up happy just because you watch a happy ending, but
this is a movie. That's my point, though. This is the movie. Why can't we have a happy? We live in a world today that says, oh no, because that may not happen in another person's life, we can't have a happy ending. We got to have it open to, well, they may not work out. All that matters is that they're a family. And
I didn't hate it. I thought that most movies end happy ending for children.
Thing.
And okay.
I'm a little picky about this because I'm somebody that's fought for my marriage. You've had a happy childhood because you had a loving family that was together. I
do know where you're going, and I agree.
All I'm going to say is just like, why can't we point toward that? I know other people have and my mom divorced from my dad. I didn't have a dad growing up, so I know what the other side.
We're really spilling it all.
Well, I think we've kind of said stuff like this before. Anyway, it's not a secret. I grew up without a father. It was because of divorce, so I know what that feels like as a child.
Yeah.
They're painting this picture of like, and obviously, yes, you can survive divorce. Your family can survive, and you should. But it's not the same family, right? They're going like, we're still going to be a family, even if we, might get divorced.
Split time with the kids. And No, I get where you're coming at. And I actually also agree. I think that there has been some sort of like, a huge normalization with like splitting up and divorce and this.
Yeah.
I mean, my like show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reality TV I'm watching right now. One of the girls kissed a guy, but then also her husband had been like very verbally you know what I'm saying, because I don't think I can say it on here. I think it gets like flagged.
Oh, okay.
And like they were just like, so we're separating, and like they actually worked on it and ended up getting back together. But like, I don't think that there's like much of a show anymore on TV or films of like fighting for a relationship, which is like what it's supposed to be.
I think we live in a society where they kind of like, we have to normalize.
Oh, we have no, it's more like, oh, we're like having a hard time, so we break up.
Yeah. And that's expected. That's all I'm saying. It's not the norm that the couple would stay together.
The only thing I will say is that there's so many films and stuff about hardship and like staying together. And I think if I was a kid that came from a family that like my parents had split up or divorced, like it would be hard to watch. And I think I would have really appreciated a film like this as a kid that's like, okay, like, like we have all those. Like I've never seen a film that ends like this for children that like, and we don't know what will happen, but we're still family. So like if I were that kid, I would have really appreciated this. I know I have a lot of friends who like come from families of divorce who probably would have appreciated something like this, because there's plenty of films made for families that are together. There's none made for families of divorce.
Back in the 50s, there a lot of them were.
It still is.
I mean, I guess
most films, children films now, they have two parents and they love each other.
Yeah, I think you could say that's probably the norm.
99%.
But
I think,
but the
like,
subject
this is-
matter of that film isn't about marriage and divorce and family. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going there, but they're just sort of like, it's a mom and a dad. That's not part of the story. Their marriage.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters.
This was the heart of the story, and so therefore, how it ends up with them together or not together was a bigger part of.
Yeah,
the
I get what
question
you're saying.
Of the story.
I don't think I hated that part though.
But I will agree with you this, which is some of what you just said was really good, in that I do agree. While it was a slightly bittersweet ending, they kind of had this nice moment where the dad's like, "I'm going to give it a try," and
yeah,
he's obviously giving it a try because he wants to make it work with his wife too. But I'm just talking about the move. He's going to give the move a try in Duluth or whatever. And they're trying to make it work. So I thought that was healthy. Anyway.
Yeah.
We dug down into that deeper than we probably needed to.
Yeah, but anyways, I liked it.
Well, can I now back up to your other point, which is I literally watched this thing because I almost stopped almost right at halfway that first night that I was getting tired, and I turned it off. And so I was like at 44 minutes in. I think it was around 88 minutes long, something like that. And the Sandman had not shown up yet. I'm halfway into this movie. No Sandman. No, what was it? Nightmaria or whatever the other.
Yeah, but they're trying to get to it. It takes a while. I didn't think that was weird at all.
Did not introduce even the concepts. I mean, I guess you could say this concept of the Sandman was there because they'd found a book that said something like.
I felt like the
Sandman.
concept was very much there because they were always trying to get to the Sandman.
You didn't
via
know
the book.
You didn't know what he looked like. You didn't know anything about him.
No.
And literally, it went well past the halfway mark. I don't know how much further in. We did start to get to hear Nimona. Is it Nimona? Not Nimona. What? Nightmaria, whatever her name was. The nightmare villain. You heard her voice. Just saying.
I didn't think any of what you're saying was weird at all. That is so common in films. Like they climax when they get there.
I don't think so.
They were getting to him with like yes, it is.
I mean, you look at Little Mermaid. Ursula's introduced much sooner. As you may not know she's completely a villain, but they usually introduce the concept of the villain and maybe even their sort of "I Want" song, depending on who it is. Poor Unfortunate Souls is her song. But no, I disagree. I think you introduce the conflict more in Act 2, and it usually includes the villain, right? And so, yeah. And then the end of that Act 2 is really like the big, big conflict. Anyway, I do think, yes, you normally introduce them much sooner. I thought it was odd to not know. And then when you did introduce it, we heard about the Sandman because of the book pretty early on. And then I wasn't very clear on like what they were doing.
Okay,
they
that's
go
crazy.
into the dream world. So like
we knew that very much.
They go in and wake up, go in and wake up, go in and wake up a few times.
Yes.
Because they're looking for the Sandman. Here's the thing. You see him kind of in clouds or something, and he goes, "Find me, and I'll answer all your dreams or your questions or whatever. Fulfill your wishes," I think he said. "Find me." That was, and it was just a shape, so you didn't know what he looked like yet. And I'm like, okay, so that was maybe what it will say about a third of the way into the film, and that moment happens. Oh, we got to find him. So why is he hiding? Like, they don't explain that.
Yes, they do.
Did I miss something?
Baloney Tony.
Yeah.
Tells him to be able to get to him. That's why it's so you don't see him till later. Too.
Yeah,
it's
if you
hard
get
to get
past
there. No, you
Nightmaria or whatever.
But you have to go into a certain, it's like REM sleep or a certain form of sleep. And they figure out that they do that by linking hands is how they get there. It's not REM, it's lumber. What's that form of sleep that's L?
Slumber?
No.
Oh.
The sleep that starts with an L. They figure out that they have to go into a certain form of sleep. He's supposed to be hard to get to.
Okay.
form.
It's possible that I was getting drowsy at that moment and missed something.
It sounds like you missed everything you're complaining about. Feels like you missed stuff. Just saying.
I don't think I did, but I do remember. So like that's another. I'm just gonna throw this in there. Go ahead.
Wait, no, that's okay.
Baloney Tony was a fun character. He's barely in the movie, and I was like, that's weird to me.
Well, because he was not in the real world, and he was only in their dreams.
They did find him in the real world behind the fridge because that's where he said he was. Oh. They do find him, but it's sort of the dead carcass because it's not in the dream world, so it's not alive. Right. But they did find him. I'm just saying, I feel like there was a lot cut out with Baloney Tony because he's even on the Nemo Land, Adventures in Nemo Land, kind of the bed that's their horse, his horse, right? Elliot's horse. He gets on the bed. This is when they're trying to like get through Nightmaria or whatever, Nightmare Girl, to get to rescue the girl. And he hears her voice in the clouds and he goes, "Oh, you're on your own." And he takes off. So he's not even a part of a lot of the back end of the movie. And then he kind of swoops in at the end to help save them. But like, he just disappears. And then he kind of disappears a couple times.
I thought when he goes, "You're on your own," is when he's going through the nightmares and he's starting to wake up. And he's like, "You're on your own." Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he's on his own.
But he doesn't wake up.
Baloney Tony can't come back in until he's asleep.
No. He doesn't wake up, though. He fights it.
Yeah.
And he gets through it. And he does kind of reconnect with his sister to try and save her. And then right when they're kind of falling to their deaths, I guess, which we don't really know what's happening, but they fall and they're headed toward the dream globe, I guess it was. He swoops in and out of nowhere, like Han Solo comes in and goes, "I gotcha." And that's the next time you see him. Like, he just disappeared for a while.
I didn't hate that.
Really?
No.
Well,
if anything, the only thing I found that was weird, I don't think he was supposed to really, like, he was just supposed to be kind of like a little bit of funny banter throughout.
Well, he was funny. I will say I thought he was one of the more successful characters. But I just didn't feel like he had a big reason to be in there at all. What was his purpose?
To add some comic relief.
Yes.
Sometimes. That was it.
I know. Not plot points or help the plot in any way.
No, I don't think he was.
Okay.
And there's so many that aren't in films. I feel like you're holding it to like such a high standard. Like the chicken in Moana doesn't even have a voice. It just goes beep, beep.
Right,
it's supposed to be funny.
That's sort of like when they went into the Dreamland and they have these other characters they interact with.
Oh, those were cute with the Sandman.
Those were fun, yeah. Those were fun, but
Breakfast Land.
The Breakfast Land was super fun.
Yeah.
And it goes dark a little bit, but there was some funny ideas. I wish there was more of that, I guess, and. So
I liked it. I disagree with you. The only thing I thought that was weird is like low-key, if my daughter's in a coma, like I wouldn't be able to go take a nap to go save her. Like, cause I'd be like, you gotta get me on, like, drug me up.
Are you saying the parents kind of jumped in on like, oh, it's a whole dreamland and we gotta go save them? Like they sort of believe them a little too easily?
Yeah, she said, "I believe Elliot."
I know, she did. And you're like, do you believe?
See, I feel like you're picking apart something that is like, this stuff's so common in films. Like, you're getting to the resolution and like it's not realistic. It's an animated film.
I know, but like screenwriting wise, you try and make these things a little bit more believable. That's all. Like, is there something in the plot, in the storyline that makes them all believe Elliot? Who, by the way, that character of all characters is the most out there character, Elliot, because he's this kid that's just always making a mess of everything and always right. He's supposed to be this sort of jerky brother who means well, I guess, but is just jerky and out of control. And then she goes, "Nope, I believe him."
I get where you're coming from. I think you're thinking too into it.
If it was the girl who's always been the more responsible, mature one, more emotionally kind of accepting and knowledgeable, oh, I believe her. But like you pick the kid to believe, and that's a stretch. Just that mom went, oh yeah, he's like what 6? Is he 6? Maybe 8 tops? And
don't know.
she's like, I believe him. The kid with the
Okay,
huge
you're annoying
imagination
me.
still has a little doll that he carries around.
Okay, you're annoying me because I liked it.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. It was a
You
fun
are.
movie.
Yes, you are.
It was a fun movie. We're debating.
Okay, so what do you think?
That's what we're doing.
Move into the second part. What did you think of the animation itself?
Okay, good. This I am clearer on. I think it was some missed opportunities.
Dang, we're 30 minutes in.
I know. Well, that's what we're doing, though. There were missed opportunities on this one, on the design side. I thought the animation was all fine. I thought there was some fun characters. That's more on the story side, though. But design-wise, I'm going to be a little bit picky. I thought that the Sandman was really lackluster in the design. Very...
Really, I loved the Sandman. The second he came in, I was like, he looks good. Like, he looks like...
The fact that he was made out of sand, okay. I mean, that probably is an obvious choice, and he looks like a king.
I liked him.
But design... See, here's the other problem. I've seen some of my friends who worked on this film that I know online, on Instagram, they've been posting some of their designs. And I was like, wow, that's really... Before I saw the movie. So I didn't know what Sandman looked like. I just have seen some initial concepts that some of the artists that I know did of Sandman. Very interesting, very intricate, a lot more interesting. And then what kind of showed up in the movie was like...
So you had higher expectations. I didn't have any expectations, so I was like, oh, wow, it looks great.
Any character designer that is given an assignment of designing Sandman or this Nightmare lady, either one...
Nightmaria or whatever.
Nightmaria. You're going to go, sky is the limit, right? Sandman. Oh, I'm going to go full tilt on this.
Yeah, but they probably did do that, and for some reason,
and what's
probably
in there,
for expense reasons and stuff like that, they didn't make them as detailed because that's a lot harder.
It's CG animation. You can do that, and it doesn't cost more, honestly. You can model a character that has a little bit more detail. It's not like a big, oh my gosh, we're spending too much. Because now line work in a 2D animation feature film, that's true. A really detailed character would take a lot longer to draw, right? Per drawing, all that. And so you want to simplify. This is not really that case. I think they could have easily have done just a more inventive and more interesting character design. He's just this blobby, very basic looking cartoon character, honestly.
I liked him.
He looked like he was from the 1940s compared to all the other characters.
He's supposed to be. They got an old book.
That's what it is?
I don't know, but that sounds right.
Yeah.
Feels right. What did you
think
think
And then I'm going to add on the character design side, I've already said those two characters. I also feel like the two human characters. I like the parents more than I like the kids.
I agree.
The little girl especially.
I thought Elliot especially.
Stevie just bugged me. She has like, design-wise, I hadn't quite figured out how realistic to go on her face, and they kind of went too realistic, I think.
And then Elliot wasn't at all.
And Elliot they're both a little bit on the bland side of the character design spectrum, where they just look like an average girl, an average boy, a little generic.
But Elliot's facial features were all stuck right here. So when he turned to the side, you were looking at like a round, like, it just like...
That's a good point.
His facial features were all really small, but maybe to look more like the dad, because his dad was like that.
Yeah.
I think I went into it with the worst expectations because we talked about In Your Dreams somewhat recently, and we looked at that trailer and pictures of the film, and the pictures looked awful. And for some reason...
What are you talking about pictures? What do you mean?
We were looking at like screen grabs of the film and stuff, like when we were talking about it on here.
Oh, right.
And I don't know if I just remember it being worse than it was, because I went into it like, oh, these characters are going to look terrible. Mm-hmm. But when I got on, I was like, oh, they don't look as bad as I remember them looking.
I think the animators helped a lot. They got in there and they did some nice facial expressions and stuff that made them look more appealing. And I think congratulations to the animators. I do think the animation looked good. The
animation looked really good.
Was good.
Acting was good.
Yeah, I would say across the board, animation
They slayed on the worlds too, like the dream worlds.
Yeah. I mean, could you have gone further? Yeah, but I do think, I'd say in general, they look good.
I thought they looked great.
Good effects, you know. I think there was good effects in there.
So should we rate like?
And I thought Mom and Dad looked good.
Mom and Dad looked good. Dad looked great. I loved
Dad was really fun.
Kind of remind me of like a Wall-E character, how he was just like kind of jello-y.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's a chubby guy. He's supposed to be Asian. Did you read that?
I thought he was.
Did you? Okay.
I don't know why, but I thought that.
But you don't see that. I think it's their name. I can't remember what made me go, oh yeah, they're Asian.
Yeah, and then it looked like Elliot kind of took a little bit more of the Asian.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the kids at all. You did?
Elliot a little.
Okay.
Kind of when he was like...
I think the people that made this movie are going to enjoy all this discussion, I hope, because I'm sure they fought with all of this stuff that we're talking about.
Are they watching?
They're watching, for sure.
Yeah.
It's spread. This one's gone viral by now.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard. I want to back to you guys that made this film, if you are listening. You know, it's hard. I mean, hard to make these movies, and every decision has a domino effect, and budget and, you know, schedule. All those things are a big part of every single movie.
Right.
Especially an indie film. This is basically an indie film.
Right.
They sold it to Netflix, and it became a big kind of a thing, but they were probably most of the time
working on a tighter budget, which can also explain stuff like Sandman and like the how the characters aren't.
Sandman, that's the question. I would love to talk to somebody about that, because I don't understand why you would have to water down his design as much as some of the other people's designs I've seen online that were just like, oh, that's neat. That's like a mustache that was really cool, and beard. I'm just saying, like, it's still some of it. Like, his beard is just it's just two curves. You know, and like that's what I'm talking about. It's not like there's just so much more that he should have looked like. He looked like a snowman. He's just this puffy, bland kind of shapes and stuff, because he's almost like, oh, he's made out of sand, so we gotta make him look like a snowman, or I don't know, but that's the way he feels. Everything is just very soft and lack of detail, and you could have that in. I mean, have you ever seen those like amazing sand sculptures that people do on the beach?
Yeah.
Like, those have intricate shapes. So it's not like you can't do that. Like, oh, we got to make it all rounded because he's made out of sand. Well, no, not really. You don't have to do that.
I think you're thinking too deep about
That's what we do on this show.
I just don't agree. Okay, rate it 1 through 10.
Can I just say one more thing before I get this rating? I think another pet peeve we have going on in film right now, and I think this one has fallen into that, which is we have a real lack of villains. People don't want villains in films anymore, especially animated films.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a movement for sure. If you start kind of analyzing some of the past films, I mean, even Moana, like, oh, she's an island that doesn't want whatever, but she ends up, you know, actually I can't remember. If you think about the villain in Moana, it's hard to even kind of figure out who it was and what it was. It was sort of the island, but the island had gone bad, but it wanted to be good. Can't remember, but it was weird. But that's what I mean, though. Like, they're not memorable because they're kind of concepts that are very loosely villains. They're not really villains. And so we had that here with both sides, the Nightmare Lady and the Sandman, both saying, I was only trying to help.
Yeah.
Both said the same lines almost exactly. And you're like, in the end, both of you are good and bad. But then the Sandman isn't he's sort of representing dreams, but that's kind of not what he plays.
No, he's supposed to be the villain out of it. And you see it a lot towards the end.
No, at the end, he does kind of, like, he fights them, but in the end, when he's been defeated, he was just like, I just wanted you to have your dream come true. Yeah,
but it was like, oh, yeah, you wanted it so... Like, I thought he was a villain, for sure. They make him out to be such a villain. I actually thought that was a very apparent villain.
You never see him, like, go mad and be like, I'm going to kill you all.
No, but it's not all like that.
It wasn't a clear villain. They watered it down. He was not a clear villain. In the end, he's still saying, I just wanted you... That was his last line, literally. I just wanted you to have your dream come true.
Like, okay, I thought this was a very, like I keep saying, a real movie. Like, it wasn't so, like, they made it more real world, even though it's also in a dream world. And so I thought that is actually such, like, a very real representation of even villains in our life. They're not coming up to us like, rrr, rrr, rrr. They could be, like, an ex-boyfriend you dated that wasn't really nice to you. Like, they could be all these things that you thought that they meant well and all that. Like, I thought it was like a realistic villain, because it's realistic. Villains aren't like, oh, well, I was actually here to defeat you this whole time. Like, we never get that type of conversation with the villains in our life. We only get like them being like, well, no, I was trying to be like nice to you and like all this stuff and sorry if you thought that, but that's not what I was doing, you know?
I do agree. We want to have a villain nowadays that has more depth to them, and I get that. And Magneto is the one that everybody seems to point to in the comics, but also in the movies. He was a villain that thought he was doing good, right? He believes in the might and survival of...
And that was Sandman.
Of mutants, in this case. Let me just finish this, because it's cool.
Okay, I do have to wrap up. I really gotta go.
Okay.
So we're gonna go tell a whole plot of another film.
But he goes off and does it in the wrong way, is the point.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just wanted to say
Which was Sandman. That was Sandman.
You could say that. I'm not
Exactly
a huge fan of that filmmaking trend.
I like
that
it.
way.
I like it.
I do think there should be depth to a villain, but I think now we've made it so much so that there's no clear villains in a story to the point where you're like, oh, so she started on this quest and she ended up finding the answer to the quest herself, and the villain just sort of slinks away.
I'm gonna put a food for thought.
Yeah, I want to see a villain fall to its death.
Okay, I'm gonna put a food for thought.
Okay.
We talk all the time about how films are always, like, especially animated films, like, are always repeating, like, the same storyline, the same plot. Like, it's all so repetitive. And we've been saying for so long on the Animation Weekly recap, like, that we want films to start getting creative. Like, why has everybody lost the plot? Like, come on, like, let's just, like, do something creative. Now you're asking it to do exactly what so many films time and time again have done.
Yeah.
So why can't we recognize it's unique and different and be like, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen anything like that done.
I think it's a good point. I don't know if it applies to this film.
I think it does. You were asking the villain to be more like Ursula and like obvious, and like you want, and you say like, no, I want films to end happy like all the other ones do. So I think
it's a good point.
Food for thought.
Food for thought back at you. I think we lost clarity in the story. I think a lot of clarity was lost in like, wait, what is this about? Where are we heading? I think you're going to end up with a story that's not very memorable in the end. Like a week from now, will you go, I can't retell that story very well because it's very vague. Who was the bad guy? Who was the thing? And only because we're talking about it so in depth.
You said Moana was just like that, and that's a big banger.
If we weren't, it is, but I don't think it's without its flaws either, I will say.
Okay, so rate it 1 through 10, please.
I don't know who the villain is in Moana. I'm just going to say it out loud.
No, I don't either.
So
wait 1 through 10.
So all of that in context, that's why I wanted to say it at the last minute there. I'm still going to give it 7.
That's what I was going to give it.
Oh, see, I thought it was a little high.
I'd give it a 7 or an 8. 7.5 is what I'm going to give it.
Because, I mean, I didn't dislike it. So maybe it's more of a 6 for me. I don't know. But a 6 or a 7. Because there's nothing to hate.
I thought it was a better story than The Wild Robot.
Ooh, wow, bold.
I didn't love The Wild Robot.
Give us a comment on that one toward her.
But you know that. We did review and I said that.
No, I kind of agree. I felt like The Wild Robot's message was not that strong.
I didn't know what the message was. It was crazy.
Yeah, you kind of do walk out of that with like...
What just happened?
Multiple messages or just confusion, I think, a little bit.
This one, I feel like I knew majority of the message. And everybody came back. We got closure on everybody, even the boy that she had a crush on that picked up the Sandman book and then skirted off. Did you watch through the credits?
Oh, no, I didn't see
There was an after credit scene where they drive off and she, like, I think throws or leaves the book on the street. And you remember how there was that scene where Elliot was, like, fighting the people in, like, what was pretty much Chuck E. Cheese? The people that were in that costumes. And the dad said he used to be in the band.
And he was in the costume.
Yes.
Yeah, huh?
The boyfriend was in the costume. You see him on a Segway slowly skirt up in his like work costume, take off the hat, pick up the Sandman book, and like it's like oh, and like it's about to catch him in, and he's like this, and then he just like tosses, and he's like and then skirts off.
Oh, so it wasn't a setup to a sequel necessarily.
No, but it was like
more of a gag.
Fun closure, and we got to be like, oh, he's still out there working at Chuck E. Cheese. I kind of liked it, like because he was like such a small point, but also like we got a little bit of a closure for him. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that was great. But anyways, we do need to wrap up. It is dark outside. Yeah.
So we're both saying, I think I'm saying 6 and you're saying 7. But I felt like you liked it better than 7.
7.5.
7.5. So not an 8.
Always room for improvement.
Yeah, but that's a 9. I don't know. Isn't it?
No.
An 8?
I'm giving it my like Dancing with the Stars. I'll give it an 8.
I feel like you're an 8.
Because like it's really hard to get a 9, let
6.
alone a 10 for me.
Oh, really? You got to give up the 9s. A 10, I get it.
No.
10 should be fairly unreachable, but
10's Ratatouille.
A movie you really like. Oh, well, that's nice. But a movie you really like should still be a 9.
This is an 8.
Yeah.
I really liked it, and I feel defensive over it against you.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not like.
Now
like,
it sounds like you're a 9. 10 should be like really a high mark.
No, I'm an 8. Don't push my numbers.
All good movies are not a 9. You're saying all good movies are an 8.
Yes.
That seems low for a movie you said you loved.
A movie I thought was okay would be like a 6.
Okay, well then I guess I'm a 6, and you're an 8 plus.
8.
Okay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And maybe this motivates you to watch it if you...
Well, hope you watched it, came back, and then like felt like you were in this conversation with us talking about your thoughts.
I do feel like we hit some of the subjects that a lot of you guys are probably thinking before or after you watch it or while you're watching it.
And leave your review too in the comments and tell us what you agreed with or disagreed with our points and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And I guess we will see you in the new year.
See you in the new year. Sorry
I will be a married woman.
Oh my gosh. That just shocked me.
I know.
Wow. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you just saw, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Pencilish Studios.